Good afternoon and welcome to PRTV Spurs, Paxton Road TV. The final game of the season sees Tottenham Hotspur Football Club travel to Sheffield United and Bramall Lane, where we need 1 point to secure 5th spot and to get Europa League. Welcome to the preview show. Hello and welcome to PRTV Spurs. It's the final game of the season. Tottenham Hotspur playing Sheffield United. What promises to be a good performance or a bad performance, and we miss out on 5th position. And then down the road at Stamford Bridge, catch Tottenham Hotspur, and we go lower than we are. Anyway, let's get to it then. There's a lot to talk about, including the fallouts and all the social media and all the people gone mental on there. So let's have a look and let's speak with Sean Hurl, Tottenham Tifosi, our very own. Good afternoon, Sean. How are you? It's been a mental week. A lot to get through.
It was like a season in a week this week. It has been hellish. There's no doubt about it. We've been to very dark places. I went to very dark places when, after Tuesday night, after the press conference, which we'll probably get into. But the sun is shining even here in Scotland. And I am looking forward to the last game of the season. It's a team that's conceded 103 goals. Let us add to that total and get our rightful place as 5th best team in the country.
Absolutely. And like you said about the weather, it's a case of the sun is shining, the weather is good. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right. So it's been a turbulent week, hasn't it? A lot of meltdowns, a lot of things said, a lot of people taking things out of context, out of proportion. Everybody, Arsenal fans having a meltdown, calling Tottenham disgrace. Postecoglou having his rant after on the post conference, and then you've got the incident on the touchline. Where do we begin? Sum it up then, Sean. Sum it up. The week.
I suppose it must start really with the pre-match press conference on Monday. Really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
We'd come in off a win against Burnley, which had, all but sealed our European spot, it seemed. And then the media started to chip away at this narrative that, not all Spurs fans were going to be wanting us to win on Tuesday night, that they don't want to do a favour for the squatters at the other end of Seven Sisters Road, that many Spurs fans won't be too unhappy with a defeat, and that obviously prickled Postecoglou. You could see that. He was debating what percentage of social media. In his exchange with Charlie Eccleshare of the Athletic. It obviously rankled with him. What we didn't know that there was he'd had some inkling of this because of some of the staff, whether it was at Hotspur Way or at the stadium, had been talking about playing the kids and, we mustn't help Arsenal because they were Spurs fans. And, I'm old school Spurs fans. I've been going since January 1968, I think I've said before. And, the rivalry is strong, and while I want my team to win, I definitely went into the game not too unhappy if Man City turned up and did a very professional job on us and won the game, because I don't want them to win the game, which we've had which would have been a direct hand in. you could turn it on its head actually and say, what about small type team mentality, Arsenal, losing twice to Aston Villa to prevent us from getting the Champions League? Well,
Yeah.
dear, oh dear, oh dear. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm old school. I wasn't too unhappy with the result when it came on Tuesday night. I was very pleased with the application of the players. I'm glad that, integrity was maintained. It wasn't a case of lying down. I liked the changes in the team, although I don't, as we discussed off screen, I wasn't sure with one of the changes they made. And then it got worse. The post-match press conference, obviously, Ange had become absolutely incandescent. The argument on the touchline, everything was blown out of proportion, and it kind of left me in this is a man who's got a history of walking away from clubs, thinking, is he quit? And I stress to you and to others that it could happen. So I was, I left. I came out of there with quite down actually. I never really want to go to that dark place that I was in on Wednesday, Thursday, and thankfully yesterday in the press conference, I think Ange was absolutely spot on. He said he misread the room.
Yeah.
He didn't give credence to the rivalry, and obviously then people say, well, that about Celtic and Rangers, but it's a different. There's a different dynamic. There's a history going back to how they arrived in the first division, brown envelopes. The whole, their old offside trap, which they perfected and actually ruined the game, and then there's so much to go into, and I wasn't too, I was saying I don't really want to hand things to Arsenal, but once the game started, once I watched it, we were playing well. I was glad that we made a game of it. We were 0-0 at half time. That was fine,
Yeah, madness, absolute madness, and obviously before we continue with that, I know Juice Nuts is saying at the beginning of the stream when we were slightly late to hurry up, but all I can say to you, Jews, on that one was we're on our way. We are PRTV Spurs, famous free hero of the Tottenham's white and blue. This time, more than any other time, this time we're gonna get on stream.
We're gonna find a way.
Yeah, find a way. Right. It was. I mean, a lot of the stuff got out of proportion, right? Yes, he didn't understand the rivalry, but on the flip side, he should have done, because Rangers Celtic, he said it's a massive game and he understands it, and he said something about Celtic fans would never have it, and they know the passion and that. So he should have known the rivalry between Spurs and Arsenal. He probably did, but he didn't realize to the extent about the fans and how they felt about it. And I think the other thing that annoyed him was these rumors about certain members of his backroom staff suggesting to him that we should play X player, bring in the youngsters. We've got to stop Arsenal at all cost. And I think that sort of got him really pissed. And when he said there's problems inside, outside that he needs to deal with, which he will deal with himself. And I think he was asked that question yesterday as well. And he said, well, because stupidly they said to him, oh, have you dealt with it? And he said, what do you want me to do in 2 days? You want me to deal with that situation?
Yeah.
No.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. I mean, I love the fact that he feels confident enough to be on first name terms with so many of the of the journey. Charlie Eccleshare was getting it in the neck. Even Ali Gold was accused of laughing. Yeah. Which Ali then went onto his video and said, I wasn't laughing. Obviously, he just caught me with my mouth open. And then Dan Kilpatrick got, I don't know if you've seen the embargo.
I saw that he got a bit of a stick, didn't he?
He got some stick for talking about Benadryl or something like that. So it was
fair
brilliant,
play to him. Fair play to him, you know what I mean? He's admitted it, and he said, no, it doesn't take 2 days to sort it out. I need more time to sort it out, and I will. And I think that's probably what's annoyed him the most, the fact that within ranks, obviously they do understand it, but you're professionals at the end of the day, and I am not gonna. I've got a game to go and play. He probably didn't want. Well, we did get beat anyway in the end, but he wanted to go out there, put a performance in, and I tell you what, I think personally, I think that's probably one of the best I've seen Spurs play this season. The whole game. Yes, we lost 2-0, but they actually, you could see that they were 100% behind. They wanted to win that game at all costs. They gave City some issues, no doubt. And I think Pep did say as well that, you know, and it caused them concern that Spurs could have won that game. And his reaction when Son went through and Pep fell on the floor, whether he slipped or not, I don't know, on purpose or whatever, Pep realised how important that game was. And he himself said that Spurs are not going to be there for the taking. They've got to prove the point. So all this meltdown that clubs fans have been having on their streams and stuff like that, saying, you know, why has he not played all like that all season, this, that, the other. Yes, I understand that. Why hasn't he played? But they weren't whining at the beginning when we were playing like that for the first 10 games. We've had injuries, we've had players suspensions, we've had players that have been out for the season. Yes, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle game, they were all getting on about that, how we got thumped and he didn't react. Why did he change the system? Stuff like that. Listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. You can't blame the manager, and we have done. You've blamed the team. We have done. Manager takes responsibilities as well, and he's admitted to that. But the things that happened at that Man City game and the reactions from some of the fan base, they just need to sort of calm down. Yes, he could have played better in them 5 games, but you put out the team that he feels is best. And we've mentioned this Van de Ven situation. I was there at that game. Now, whether you're watching it on TV, I don't know if you saw it or not, but at some point, my son goes to me, Dad, Van de Ven looks fucked. He looks knackered. He said, it looks like he's limping, or he looks like he's looking at the bench. And that left back position that he played, it's not his natural position. Yes, you can play him as a one-off, but not against Man City's. Not when you're going to get the run around. And it could have been worse. If he had got injured, everybody that wanted him to play at left back, would they have turned around and said, oh, yeah, shouldn't have played him at left back now. He's got injured. Should have left him at centre back. So that's not his natural position. And we were just discussing this, Sean, before we came on air. He's not a like-for-like replacement for Destiny. Different. Destiny goes up a lot and helps the attackers. Did you see Van de Ven doing that? I saw him do it once, and that was it. So sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish for, because if he got injured in that game, and it could have been a serious injury, then what was the fans going to be saying? So in a one-off game, yes, it's going to be very interesting tomorrow what he does with that position, whether he plays in there or whether he goes back to his natural position and then Emerson Royal or Ollie Skip at the back. What's your take on this Van de Ven playing at left back and all the fans crying and saying that it should have been that from the beginning when Destiny got injured?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned it on the reaction show. It was that I didn't think the Van de Ven experiment was very good. When you spent all season playing left centre back, he kept getting drawn inwards all the time.
Yeah,
and look at the amount of space that Walker had, particularly in the first half on that right hand side. You know, because he was. You know, it's very hard to get out of that headspace, I think, of left centre back when you've been there, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously missed a few games, but, every game he's played as left centre back and then he's having to play left back. I mean, I think he only played a handful of games at left back for Wolfsburg. And, it's a totally different position, particularly under an inverted fullback situation. And I think, I don't think it was particularly successful, particularly in that first half. Ali Gold's made the point at one point. He actually said to someone, "Don't pass to me." I didn't see that, but there was a point where he was saying, "Please don't pass to me," because he was, as you said, he was tired because just getting up and down. Tracking Walker was proving to be difficult because it's a whole different movement as a centre back than it is as a left back. Particularly as I say, under inverted attacking fullback. So I don't know what he did. I mean, I saw I don't think we have a an under-21 that we can promote, and the poor kid that played for us in that cup final in the week got an absolute roasting at left back because Dorrington wasn't available. So it was a tough ask, and it obviously will be a interesting discussion about what he does tomorrow for 4 o'clock. We'll find out at 3 o'clock anyway.
So this comment by David, and I'm not gonna lie, I sort of agree with him. I think basically, hi, I'm from Leicester. I've got a bee in my bonnet. I've been a defender of Højbjerg, but I'm sorry, that Man City game, Porro was woeful. A penalty, lost the ball 24 times, no successful crosses, but nobody says anything. It's a good job for Porro that Ange plays an inverted fullbacks, because this guy wouldn't get in a back four. His defending is horrendous. That performance was one of the worst of all season, yet Spurs fans don't say anything. I think, David, there's a lot of performances. In fact, the players' performances on that game have just been left away because everybody's been concentrating on Ange's comments and social media meltdown. So nobody's actually looked at the players' performances on the day. It was all about Ange, what he said, what he done, all his stuff on the day, and people forgot about the players' performances. And I do you know what? I agree with you. I think Porro did not have a good game, and that penalty thing, you could see what was happening with Doku in out. But that challenge was one of them challenges where you know when you're playing a game and then somebody's taking a piss out of you and you think to yourself, you know what, fuck this, and you just boot him. I think he's just done that, and I think he could have done better. And looking back at it now, David, I don't think he had a decent game, to be fair. But nobody's going to say anything because everything got deflected because of Ange. What did you make of Porro's performance?
Yeah, it wasn't good. No, you can't call it. You can't call it an ice cream when it's a shit sandwich. Yeah. It was a poor performance. But in his defence, I don't think there's a player who's played more minutes than Pedro Porro all season. And if anyone has needed a rest, it's been Porro in the last half dozen games. He's looked tired. He's looked leggy. He's had to do a lot of running, and I think it's not necessarily his fault. We just didn't have a decent enough replacement, and it's probably a key thing that we look at fullbacks this summer when we're looking for recruitment, because I think we need to start getting towards 2 players per position, like Man City have, like Arsenal are getting towards, and like Liverpool generally have as well. So I think that's the only, I think he's needed a rest for a good 2 maybe even 3 months, and he hasn't had it. And I think it's just the season has caught up with him, because it's a very demanding role to be an attacking inverted fullback.
Yeah. Right. Enough of that then. Enough of that. Enough of the meltdowns. Good Beats is saying good morning, guys. Think it's early days in live squad, but
absolutely. Doesn't change nothing about this week changes my view that we've got the right manager in place. We need a pruning of the squad. We need good recruitment, and I think I want to see what happens this summer. And in his press conference yesterday, seemed to indicate that things are going positive on that front. So we'll see.
And David, our fans are all on enemies sometimes. You know what, Vicario? Yes, I've not heard the people want him out, but if they are, then there's some of these people, they just need to go and have a reality check, because it's just mental. We turn on our own players and managers and whatever so quickly.
Honestly, unbelievable. It was like when I watched the game on Tuesday, it was like I was back at the cup tie. Højbjerg hoiks the ball across our area at nobody in particular, goes to an opponent. In January, it was De Bruyne who put the ball wide, And this time it was Foden who actually brought an absolutely worldie of a save out of Vicario.
Yeah, no.
And in exactly the same, at the same end, at your end of the field, Sid, as well. I mean, it was,
yeah,
you know,
exactly. And I agree with David here. We have the right coach. It's a few hundred fans that need to show the door to. David, I know it is, but that's the problem, isn't it? This is the thing with Spurs fans. Very, very quick to jump on whatever if there's a little bit of a negativity or whatever, not looking at the bigger picture. But unfortunately, we've got to stick with that. And another interesting thing in the interview yesterday, I think they asked him a question about something. I can't remember what it was. Something about, are you determined to whatever? And he turned around and said, I am determined, but I am even more something to do with determined. And then he said, something to do with deterred from whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's the way.
The way he said it was that I'm not deterred from undertaking the task.
That's it.
So that was reassuring to someone like me who thought, could he walk? That was the point at which I went. It was like the whole of this week post City game. My blood pressure was like, my anxiety was up to the thing, and that was the first time I could feel I could breathe out and feel that the coach was staying. So that was good.
I think all that stuff before the game, what was going on, and all the Spurs fans and all that, I think got to him, because yesterday he looked a lot more calm, and it looks like he sort of had his moment, and he's now back to reality, and he's chest out, asked the questions, and I'll answer them now because I've had my meltdown. I sort of apologize for it. I didn't understand the situation, but now I'm back on track, and let's get on with it. And talking of let's get on with it, so final home game of the season at home, didn't score in my end again, so they left me a fantastic thank you message by not scoring. So thank you to Tottenham for that. Love it. Why spoil something that's not been happening throughout the whole season? So
have you renewed your ticket? Have you renewed your ticket?
I have, yeah. Of course I have. I was never ever not gonna renew my tickets, but I'm trying to move locations, but I still haven't heard back from Spurs yet. So let's see what happens with that. And we are away at Sheffield United tomorrow. Final game of the season, and we are away. So let's do the show of the preview. So Spurs versus Sheffield United. 11 times, Sean, we've met.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, with 3 wins, 5 for Spurs. They've beaten us 3 times. We've won once at their stadium. No away wins for them. And we've won 4 at home with 3 draws, which then I'll take on to my next one. Last 5 meetings then, and I'm going back to September 2019 here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was a 1-1 draw. 2nd of July 2020 at Bramall Lane. Spurs lost 3-1. 27th, 2021, 17th of January, Spurs won 3-1 at Bramall Lane. May 2021, 4-0 to Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we remember this one, 2-1, the final minute countdown winners, where we won 2-1. So last 5 meetings, Sean, going back to 2019, is 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw.
Yeah, that's it. There's quite a lot of stories attached to these fixtures, isn't there? The 1-1 was, if I recall correctly, was Pochettino's last game in charge.
I didn't know that.
I think we drew 1-1, and then there was an international break, and he was sacked in the international break because then COVID hit, and hence you got the return fixtures in July. Yeah, that was the one where Lucas Moura was brought down and had the ball kicked at him. Yeah, and they got a free kick for handball.
That's right.
Should have been. I think we scored.
We scored, and it got disallowed, and
it got disallowed, and they got a free kick. Yeah, so it was that was that game. Yeah. Then the 3-1 at Bramall Lane in January. That was when Tanguy and Ndombele showed us that classy finish with the overhead, over the goalkeeper's head from the outside of his right foot. Yeah. 4-0 was just an absolute slaughter at the end of the season. I don't know. and then obviously 2-1 Kulusevski in the 98th minute or whatever it was. So yeah, it's incredible that there's been some memorable events around this particular fixture. I'm hoping that tomorrow's memorable because we rack up a hatful of goals. But let's see.
Well, the next slide you might not like then.
All right,
our record at Bramall Lane then, and I'm going back to 1993.
Oh my God!
6-0 to Sheffield United. Yeah,
oh
Franz Korf scored. Brian Dean.
Oh my God!
And that was under Aussie. 11th of September 1993, we drew 2-2. Little John scored 2, and Teddy scored 2 under Aussie. 10th of February 2007, we lost 2-1. Holtz and Jagielka, Jermaine Genus, under JR. And it's not
Monday Ramos,
it's not JR Ewing.
Yeah.
And then 2nd of July 2020, we lost 3-1. Berg, Muse, McBurney, Harry Kane for us, and Jose.
Yeah, that was the Mora one.
Yeah. 17th of Jan 2021, we won 3-1, and that's the Ndombele goal that you was talking about. And that, so we've had 3 losses, 1 draw, and 1 win, but obviously 1993. So realistically, the last one.
1993 to 2007 is a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
It is. That's what I mean. So yeah, but they've conceded 103 goals, and them Sheffield United teams compared to this one it's completely different, isn't it? Completely different.
Yeah, I mean they have been really poor.
They've been shocking.
And I think they've got 3 wins all season. So I don't want them to be getting a 4th tomorrow. But we should, I'm confident that we'll close out the job because Postecoglou won't allow it to happen.
Absolutely. So the last 5 games, and this is not good reading for either sides, to be fair. Ours was Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Burnley, and Manchester City. You know what's coming next. Theirs is Burnley, Man United, Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest, and Everton. Quiz for everybody. Everybody, a quiz, please. Let's see who can. I'm not going to put it up, but in them fixtures there, altogether, total, how many wins is there on both sides altogether? If anyone can get the answer right, I'll give you a brownie point. How many wins will we see on when I put the stats up? How many do you reckon, Sean?
I reckon just us over Burnley the last time I was at the.
You're saying 1. Anybody in the comment section, what do you reckon it's gonna be? David, Good Beats, Jews Nuts, whoever else is watching, Rochi, what do you reckon? What do you reckon it's gonna be? It is. Are you ready? You're gonna like this one.
Oh, okay.
We've won 1.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know my football. No, I don't really. I have to say.
We have more reds than blue. I think this is the first time all season where it's almost a full house of reds.
Yeah, and it's those red figures on our side which has got the what they call the Ange out and the Ange doubt.
Yeah,
it's got them animated for their own opportune reasons. They've just hung around all season waiting for it to to be a bit pear-shaped in his first season, and they're out and they're all over social media, they're all over YouTube, and I just think they're pathetic, to be honest. Pathetic.
To be fair, do you know what? I think somebody questioned it the other day, saying the Premier League, when they put these fixtures out, for them to put Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, I'm not going to put Man City in there because we should have played Man City well before then, and Newcastle, 4 games in a row within almost 2 weeks, if that. They need to look at that, because in all my years, I've never ever seen Liverpool's, Arsenal's, Man United's in their heydays having a run of fixtures within like 8 to 10 days where they've had 4 massive games. I don't think I've ever seen it.
To be fair, the most I've ever seen is maybe 3 we've had 3 really difficult fixtures, like Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, something like that. Yeah. But I've never seen a run like that. You know, you include Newcastle in there, you know, which is just, you know, just before. You know, it was an outrageous fixture congestion. You know, and we didn't play them in the same order earlier in the season. I really hate the fact that there's this. You know, I mean, the way the season went this year, with us having 2 weeks off here and 3 weeks off there, and you know, it just. I mean, it didn't help. It never helped situation, but yeah, it's.
So they've away. They've conceded 1, 3, 5, 4, 4 at home. Their last 2 games, they've conceded 3, and they've conceded 4, and they've conceded 3 against Burnley, Forest, and 4 against Burnley, who have been shocking this season as well. So for them to concede 4, right? They obviously conceded 4 against Man United, 5 against Newcastle, and we all know how Newcastle on their day, if the rubber the green goes their way, they will demolish teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I'm looking at the table now, Sid, and every team below Newcastle, who are 7th currently, every team below them have got a negative goal balance. From Manchester United all the way down to Sheffield United, everyone has got a minus goal balance. And that is unbelievable. But from 8th onwards,
crazy.
I mean, it just goes to show how dominant the teams at the top have been. You know, for a while there, it looked like a three team title chase, but obviously Liverpool fell by the way in spectacular fashion. You know, I mean, we're hardly too much. I think we're only +10, so you know, it's not doesn't shine to reflect too well on us. But
they've scored 35 goals and conceded 101 goals. So going into this game tomorrow, it's going to be 0-0. Do you know what I mean? I won't be surprised, you know. I would not be surprised because...
And Sheffield United will celebrate it like a win.
Yeah, because what have they got to play for? They've got nothing to play for. They're relegated. They're probably...
Actually, we'll celebrate it with a clean sheet.
That's what I mean. Probably one of the worst teams to play in the Prem. 101 goals. They can't score. They can't buy wins. You know, it's just written in the stars, million miles away. But season so far then, Spurs are 5th, Sheffield United 20th. They've won 3, we've won 19. They've drawn 7, we've drawn 6. They've lost 27 games, we've lost 12. They're not even scoring 1 goal per match. We're 1.92, so we're almost double. Average goals conceded 2.73. We're conceding 1.65. They've kept 1 clean sheet. We've kept 6. Chances created, they're creating just 1 chance per match. We're creating 2.38. Their biggest win is 3-1, Aussies 4-0, and their biggest defeat 8-0, Aussies 4-0.
That 8-0 wasn't that against Newcastle at home?
It was.
Yeah, oh my God.
So it's mental. It's absolutely mental. I mean, we can talk about this if you want, but on every level, we're much, much better. And it should be a foregone conclusion tomorrow. We should not be losing this game. I mean, they've kept 1 clean sheet, so we should score. They've only won 3 and they've lost 27 games. So it's their final game at the season. They know the fans will be there. They know that they're relegated. They're in the championship. So do they just show up, turn up, or do they just say, come on, fuck it, that's it, we're done. Let's just turn up, show our face. Or will they be playing for the fans who have supported them all season? Final flourish, as they say, at home to Spurs, who they can probably think, rocking, can we do them? I don't think it's going to happen, but them stats are horrendous, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, their stats are horrendous. Ours are not a million miles better, though, are they?
They're not, but let's have it straight. Season under a new manager, a new system, and that it could have been better. Them 4 defeats, if there were 2 draws or 2 wins or whatever, then it looks more respectable. But considering what we've had, injuries and stuff like that, I'm sort of happy for that for Angie's first season.
Well, I still want to win tomorrow. Still want to win, yeah, absolutely.
Of course. I mean, chances created. Look, we're still creating 2.38 chances, which is I think I think it's quite decent. Clean sheets is a problem.
Yeah, it is.
And average goals scored, we're scoring almost 2 goals a game. So at the beginning of the season, if you said that to me, that we'd be scoring average 2 goals per season. Because remember, we went, how many games did we go, not scoring? We went quite a lot of games, didn't we?
Aye.
So, yes, that's what it is. Right. So, team news then. And I'm sorry, Sean, but I'm sick and tired of our players not having a game, playing 2 minutes, and then they fucking get injured. It's absolutely how Destiny got injured whilst not playing a game in training. We've had up-team injuries where Richie got injured again, not playing. He was in a training. And now yesterday, Lo Celso's picked up a knock. How the fuck? That guy plays 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. How has he picked up a knock? So he's a doubt for tomorrow's game. He's going to assess him today. I don't understand it, Sean. I seriously do not understand this.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have our differences. I mean, honourable differences about Lo Celso, and I think he's been hard done by this season. But when you see that he's picked up an injury for a 5-minute appearance on Tuesday night, you realise that the end of the road is here. To quote, we've reached the end of the road, and that we'll just have to find someone like Villarreal or Real Betis to take him off our hands in the summer, because it's becoming almost like my mantra now. The best ability is availability, and if you can't keep yourself fit, or you're getting yourself injured all the time, then it's a madness. Our little Arsenal friend come in there.
Yeah, Luca.
Sorry we couldn't help you on Tuesday. Really.
But the thing is, how has he got injured? I mean, I think they're saying he's training, isn't it? In training, he's got injured. He picked up a knock.
No. He got. Ange said it was in the game on Tuesday night when he came on as sub, because and the trouble is though, he does like to dive in, doesn't he? He does like to stick the foot in, and sometimes if you're a little bit late, you can finish up on the wrong end. And I'm not justifying it that he seems to have knees or ankles of glass, but it's very frustrating. And I mean, whether he's just decided I'm not getting the rub of the green. I was made to stay in January, and I was assured that I was going to get gameplay, and he never did. And I could understand why he might well be a little hacked off now. But
but then if that's the case, and then Angie said that we were looking at giving him a 2-year. I don't know if it's Angie said it, but it's come from the club. But then at least show a little bit.
Has it come from the club? I think it's.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
I don't think it's come from the club. No,
I don't think so.
I think
it's just rumours, isn't it? But at least
I mean, last summer of his, it's his last. He's going into his last year, so they'll punt him on.
So as for team, then he said no real issues apart from Lo Celso. So I think. Do you know what? I would even rest Pedro Porro, and I put Emerson Royal at right back, because I think.
Yeah.
I know. You know what I mean, though. If you're gonna, why not? But I don't think he changes the left back. I don't think Skip comes in. I don't think he plays anyone else.
He's going to go strong. He wants those 3 points. He wants to finish on 66 points, not 63.
I think he's. I think the back five will be the same against Man City, because I think Van der Ven won't have as hard as a game as he did on Tuesday against Man City. And no disrespect to Sheffield United, but I can't see them causing that much issues down our left. So I think he goes with a back five. Agree?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm a, you know, other than one or two individuals, I couldn't name you a Sheffield United player this season. I just haven't paid any attention to them. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not aware of a lightning fast right winger who can, you know.
This is it. They've been poor all day long. And I like the way when obviously everyone saw the social media video of Bentancur kicking the shit out that chair, and I hope that chair's all right. And most importantly, I hope Brian Gill's all right, because he might be out for the season now. But
Tyrese Hall, young kid sitting on the other side, thinking, what the? Oh, this is me, first time being picked in the first team squad. And this guy's going ape shit. I mean, he actually rips the leather on the seat.
And did you see the interview when he was asked a question? Andrew was asked a question about Bentancur, and his response, not interested. Did he? Not interested.
So, well, yeah, on the Tuesday night, but again, he corrected it in yesterday's press conference. He said he was angry, and you know that, and you know, to me, he said that in an approving kind of way, because it was, you know, it was the yellow card which was going to make Bentancur liable for a red card, and that's why they scored their first goal, because he couldn't take the man out because he was already on a yellow card. Yeah.
Midfield, then I think Højbjerg is not going to play. I think Bentancur goes in there with Saw and Maddison. I think obviously Bentancur aggression and the fact that he was angry. Do you know what? In a way, if I'm the manager, I'd be happy with that my player has been taken off and he's pissed, absolutely pissed. Edison was pissed when Pep took him off. Pep obviously knew the reason that he's been injured.
Well, you see what's emerged. He's actually fractured his eye socket.
That's what I'm saying. The fact is
that is you hook the player off, because that is dangerous. And he played on for another 7 minutes or something.
And I was behind opposite goal, and when we saw that, I was like, oh shit, and everybody around me were like, oh shit, this doesn't look happy. And my boy's like, Dad, it looks quite serious. So obviously
and to be fair, people who are having a go at Romero didn't kick him. It was an accidental collision.
Of course it was.
It was totally accidental, and I don't think he got a yellow card.
But I don't.
Those who were calling for a red were talking.
It's ridiculous. I said that to my boy. I said, I bet you Romero gets looked at, and if he goes to VAR, he's going to get sent off because it's Romero. But logically, they used their common sense, and it was all right. But the medical team must have said something to Pep, and for Pep to take him off straight away, because as soon as you could tell, he
was staggering.
Not only that, the moment he was on the floor and the medical team was administering assistance, Ortega was sent out to do a warm-up, and we could tell, and my boy goes, he's going to come on, and we could sense it straight away. So Pep obviously must have been told that it's a lot worse than it is. And then, like you said, he got taken off and he's gone ape shit because he was kicking the seats and everything. He probably thought, I can do better than what Bentancur's done. And then to find out the day after, or that same night, that he had a socket issue, fractured, fucking Pep was damn 100% right. And Edison was wrong. If he's frustrated that he's been taken off, mate, it's your medical, it's your health.
It was the right call, but done too late. But it was like opening day of the season. Remember when Romero scored that goal but was knocked out?
Yes.
And what did Postecoglou said? Off. He just brought him off.
Exactly.
And that is showing due care and attention to your employees.
100%.
You know? So
So
all well
being frustrated at being taken off, it can be good in some ways, because that proves that the player's not happy. You know, that he's been taken off. He might have been playing well, but the consequences are he was already on yellow. We don't want him suspended for the final game. Maybe he wants him more. Maybe he took him off thinking he's going to be starting on Sunday. So I think Bentancur starts with Maddison and Saw in the middle. And I've gone with Johnson, Son on the left, and I'm going with Kulu as a false nine who can alternate with Maddison to take that role up. Because I don't want to see Son playing up top. Maybe he might go with Son up top, Kulu on the left. What I don't want to see is Johnson on the left, because I won't be happy, because Johnson doesn't like playing there. and he doesn't play well there. So I've gone with this because Kulu, and then at least he can then swap with Maddison if he needs to as a false 9 kind of thing. In fact, the front 4 can all swap if they need to. But
I mean, I see it more as a diamond, don't I? I think it's a 4-4-2, but a diamond in the 4.
Yeah,
with the leading person playing the role of false 9. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I think everybody agreed. I think everybody agreed on Tuesday that false 9 and the way all the players played, they played really well. Son on the left, Johnson on the right, Maddison doing what, and Saul was the furthest player. And it probably was one of the better performances I've seen this season. So I think this team going to Bramall Lane, you've got goals, you've got everything in it. And I think if you just pick this team, I think we win it well and truly convincingly. And Jules Nuts agrees as well. He's saying that, yeah, agree with that team sheet. Its circumstances sort of dictates the team sheet. Højbjerg, yes and no. I don't think he's the type of player to come in tomorrow to play this game. We need to win it convincingly or just win the game. So I think this team, if I was picking it on paper, I think this is the team that I would go with.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely agree. I think that's the team I would pick as well. But we'll see at 3 o'clock, won't we, tomorrow? When our phones ping and the team sheet comes through. But exactly. I'm quite happy with that. I don't know what David Clark thinks. I know he's not Kulu's greatest fan, but I thought Kulu was really good when he came on, and nearly scored an equalising goal.
Nearly scored 2. Yeah. Nearly scored 2. But on paper, it's the final game of the season. And like you said, you want to go out with a bang. You want to put your best team forward. Doesn't matter if you're Sheffield United or Arsenal or Manchester City or Man United or Liverpool. You want to put your best team out that's going to go out there to win you the game. Simple as. And I think on paper, tomorrow, this is our best team. And this is the team that you should play. Ange, this is the team, mate. This is the team.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope I don't see Højbjerg start in the game, but anyway.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. So, as it stands then.
Oh, interesting comment there. I'll put that up on the screen.
United Nations 11, all different nationalities starting. Oh, I didn't see that one. Is it 11?
11 different nationalities.
Oh, there you go then. There you go. There you go.
Well, 2 English. 2 English.
Oh yeah.
No. Hold on. No, I'm Johnson Welsh in the year.
Listen, don't you do what Sam did the other day and saying Johnson is English? He's Welsh, mate. He's Welsh.
Absolutely. Apologies. Yeah. Apologies to England fans.
You see, Henry, I'm a man.
Henry, I should never have doubted you, mate. I should never have doubted you.
I want to unite the nations, Henry. Yeah. So for the final game, I want to make 11 different players out. So we bring a United Nations flag with us, shall we? Back up the UN for a change. Yeah? Absolutely. Right. So as it stands then, obviously we're not getting 4th because they're 5 points ahead of us. The only snack we've got is Chelsea. I've come out of nowhere, and I hope all them Pochettino outs at Chelsea are now thinking, hold on a second. Anyway, we need a point because if we lose tomorrow, then they win at Palace, who have won 4 out of 5 at home. Then Chelsea can catapult us. And I tell you now, I don't.
Chelsea aren't playing. They're not playing Palace. It's Villa that's playing Palace.
Sorry, they're playing Bournemouth.
They're playing Bournemouth. Yeah.
And as much as if we had won that game and given them lot the title, I don't know if this is even worse if they overcome to beat Tottenham to Europa League position. I don't know what is worse, having Arsenal fans or Chelsea fans having a bit of thing, because they've come out of nowhere to be 3 points behind us, and I think kudos to them for doing what they've done. But imagine if we lost and they won that game tomorrow. Oh my God. And talking of winning, in the last kick of the game in the 98th minute when we played Sheffield United at home, we have a very, very late arrival, soaking the sun in Spain. But this guy loves to come on just to taunt us. It's our very own Sam Spurs for Life. Good afternoon, Sam, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you're in.
It's not as sunny as it should be. It's actually cloudy. But I'm in Tenerife.
There you go.
It's very good, very good. What's happened to Sean?
Sean's here.
Can't see him on the screen.
Oh, Sean's here.
I'm definitely here, mate.
So, Sam,
yeah.
You're joining. Sorry. No, that's good. So you're joining us in the 98th minute of injury time.
He's playing the role of Kulusevski.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
No, I can't see him.
Any better?
Now we can hear you now, yeah. We've lost you again.
Oh, you there?
Oh, no, that's fine, yeah.
Right, okay.
Right, so you're joining us. VAR assistant referees added 8 minutes of injury time, so we're hoping that you're going to do a Kulusevski and score the winning goal. We're almost done, actually.
That's fine. I literally just wanted to join just to give my scoreline, and then literally I was we're going to enjoy Tenerife. That's what I'm going to do. Can't enjoy too much for Spurs. Go on.
I was going to say this is what I think the lineup's going to be for tomorrow. So I think Vicario will stay. The back five will stay the same as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Benton, Cole, Maddison, and Saw, with Johnson, Kulusevski, and Son up top. That's what I reckon. And the reason I'm saying that is because the front four can alternate and they can move around, and they can, like Sean said, it can be a diamond where Son, Johnson, Maddison, and Kulusevski can move around and cause them issues.
Yeah, I don't really mind what team he puts out tomorrow, because we should be able to beat Sheffield United. But then saying that, obviously we know what's happened over the last few days, so it could be anything. But Son's come out and said a few things. Mander's come out and said a few things. You've obviously seen all the press conferences. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, I think the team doesn't really matter tomorrow. I hope he plays maybe a couple of people that we haven't seen, possibly even Dane Scarlett to start if he's fit, or Mikey Moore. I've talked about Dorrington as well in the past. He scored that cracking goal for the under-21s. So there's players that might be able to get an opportunity, but I can see him playing pretty much a strong team as always. In terms of a strong team, the players that we know that usually play. Yeah,
Sean said that as well, that we would love to see it, the youngsters, but it's not going to happen because we still need a point, and there's no way Postecoglou's just going to play the young boys just for the sake of it, for playing them, giving them game time. I think Mikey Moore and Scarlett might be substitutes towards the end of the game, depending on the scoreline, but I can't see him, to be fair, actually changing the team from this just for the sake of giving youngsters an opportunity.
No.
Score, right. I was just saying, Sam, we need to win tomorrow or get a draw, because Chelsea have come out of nowhere and they're 3 points behind us. And if Sheffield United decide to turn up tomorrow and beat us and Chelsea win, then we don't get Europa League and we don't get fifth. Imagine that happening. I don't want it, and I'm not even thinking about that, but can you imagine?
We can't be lower than Chelsea. That would be a nightmare scenario. Given all the grief that Chelsea been getting this season, given it's our ex-manager as well, I think that would be absolutely a travesty of not even justice, because we didn't deserve to be where we are, having lost 5 or 6 games, but we are where we are. So we just can't let Chelsea come above us. So we have to get at least a point tomorrow.
Absolutely. Right. So then that brings me on to the favourite part of the show, the score prediction. Then please, everybody in the comment section as well. Luke at AFC has gone 2-0 Spurs. Everybody else, please, can I have your score predictions? Jews Nuts is gone in with Blades 0, Nurse Hotspurs 4, Son, Maddison, Romero, Vicario from 90 yards. Jews is now taking the piss. Yes, we know they've conceded 101 goals, but come on, mate. Come on. I know, but no. Sam,
I'm going to
I'll continue first.
Yeah, I'll give my prediction because my connection is being a bit silly.
That's fine.
So if you can hear me still, I hope you can. I'm going to say 3-1 to Spurs, given that Sheffield United have conceded 100 goals plus this season. If we don't score 3 goals against them on the last day, I wouldn't be happy. Honestly, I wouldn't be happy. We just got to get a win. So I'm going to go for a big score, 3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs.
A couple of goals. And Kulishevsky.
There you go. Lovely. Lovely. That's fine. Sean, what are you saying?
I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I love
Sam,
you and leave you guys. But
thank you.
We'll sort out talking points for next week.
Yeah,
No
enjoy.
problem. I just wanted to get on and say that. But yeah.
Enjoy your holiday.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay, good. Oh, God,
Look at him. Yeah,
go away. Go away.
Go away. Right.
Showing off again.
Henry Sagu is saying 4-2 to Spurs.
Yeah, I'd like something like that, or 4-1, but I don't know. I'm still scarred by 2016. Going to Newcastle, booking Newcastle, thinking it might be a chance to win the league.
Yeah.
2016, and we lose to already relegated Newcastle 5-1. We finished third in the 2-horse race, and they actually go down to 10 men at one point. Oh God, that was just painful. Yeah. It's I think 2-0. I think 2-0, and I'm hoping that it's Son that scores, because I think he needs that to finish the season strong.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Matthew saying good evening, boys. It's afternoon, but depending on where you are, it could be
where he is. Yeah, it could be evening where he is.
Yeah, it could be. I'm gonna go with. Do you know what? City performance was quite decent, so I think if we go with that attitude, and play the play where we do, Sheffield United are, like I said before, they've been horrendous. So I honestly think we could win this game convincingly. The question is, do we keep a clean sheet? Now, if we can't keep a freaking clean sheet against Sheffield United, then there's problems, right? I'm gonna go with 4-0 to Spurs. As Juice Nuts, we're going to put the sword to the blades. Is it Gillette or will it be Wilkinson? That is the question. Other brands are available. Or is Sonny going to score a hat-trick and go, Gillette, the best a man can get? Anyway, we don't know.
It depends who sponsors him. He's sponsored for everything else. So
I know, exactly. But I honestly think it'll be, I think we could win this game convincingly because, he's in India. I am from India, actually. Good afternoon from India, then. Good afternoon.
Yeah, late, 3.5 hours ahead of us. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. And please make sure everybody in India knows about PRTV Spurs, and make sure they follow us and continue joining us, and make sure they're with us all next season.
All our India Spurs fan.
Absolutely.
Supporters Club should be tuning in. Come on.
Right. So I'm going 4-0. I think it could be coughing in the nails, or their blade could be blunt tomorrow, and we just need to go and put them to the sword. And I think
there's been. I mean, I joke when I say I'm scarred by that Newcastle thing, but we've also hammered teams on the last day of the season. So I seem to remember we got about 7 against Hull in the last game of the season one year. And we got 6 against Leicester, and other teams we've absolutely put to the sword at the end of the season. So if we could do that, that would make me sign off the season happy. I know the players have got a ridiculous journey to Melbourne straight after the game, but let's hope that they have a refreshing summer. Including those that have got international duty in South America and in Europe. Thankfully, the Africans and Sonny have the summer off, I think. So that's good. You're on mute.
Ed Sean, that is the preview show. Jews nuts, our players play better with no pressure. Should be easy tomorrow. Matthew saying here, we usually beat teams in the last game of the season. Well, not if it's Newcastle a couple of seasons ago. Road to nowhere, 1-1, nail biter, and Ange doing Poznan at the final whistle.
I think he'll be administering slaps across the face of the players if it's 1-1.
I'm telling you now, exactly.
Yeah. He wants 3 points and nothing else, and he's right to want that, to be honest. Absolutely.
He will not want to do that. But yeah, like I was saying to you, Sean, I think that is that up the Spurs. And finally, just for you, Jews, I see trees of green. Red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And
I think to myself, what a wonderful
world. There you go. Anyway, thank you to everyone.
It will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. Thank you to Jews Nuts. Thank you to David Clark. Thank you to Rochi Baby, Good Beats, EMT, Matthew from India, Luca AFC, Henry Sagu. We've got Road to Nowhere. Thank you, everyone. If you haven't already subscribed to PRTV Spurs, Paxton Road TV, make sure you subscribe that button and follow us. Sean, thank you as always. We have one more show to go. One more reaction show for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and then we are done for the season. So please, thank you for being with us throughout the whole season. One more show. Join us. Probably be on Monday, because we like to have a little bit of a sit down and watch the game over and then do the reaction show. Probably on Monday we will do the reaction show. Make sure you join us for the final show. It's the final countdown on Monday to see the Spurs reaction of the game against the Blades. Hopefully it will be a win. As always, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you to you, Sean. And as always, the final, as we say, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Develop,